And we are live. Welcome, people. Welcome, everyone. Let's give it a couple minutes. Sure some viewers will pop up here, but yeah, welcome. We are in Netflix and Chill, episode number 1, here with my boy, all my boys over here. It's me, your boy Shill, and yeah, we're sitting here. We're excited about what's happening with the market. We've all got some different perspectives on what's going on, and we're here to talk about some shit coins and shit talk.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, just lead it off. Everybody want to introduce themselves, share a little bit about maybe like how they started in the market and a little bit how they're feeling about the market right now, and we can move forward from there.
All right, we can start with you. We'll follow after that.
Cool. Yeah. So I got started in crypto in like 2013, 2014 time span. Not like full time in crypto, but got interested in it. I was making mobile apps at the time, so I was starting to make some mobile apps around the Bitcoin concept, and just some really basic things that were going on there. I bought some Litecoin that I proceeded to lose. And have no idea where it is. Bitcoin concept. It's somewhere out there. Going on there. I bought some Litecoin that I proceeded to lose and have no idea where it is. Bitcoin concept. It's somewhere out there. Going on there. I bought some Litecoin that I proceeded to lose and have no idea where it is. Bitcoin concept. It's somewhere out there. Going on there. I bought some Litecoin that. Shit, my bad, guys. Hank, if you can hear me, there's some feedback on your end. There we go. Anyways, yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident about the market. Like I like everybody said, I don't think we're 100% bull market yet again, but I think we're looking a lot more positive than we were looking a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago. Things are starting to turn around here. And I don't know, I'm just excited about it. I'm excited to see some green. I'm excited to see my portfolio turning around and looking a little bit better.
I think we all are. I think we all are ready for our accumulated coins to go ahead and make us some money.
Exactly.
So who wants to go?
I think we all are. I think we all are.
Oh,
Hank, sorry about that.
Hank, all right.
That was weird.
Hank, fucking everything else.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Captain, you want to go next?
Sure. So I've only been around in the space for a year now. I remember, well, actually about 3 or 4 years ago, I started a Bitcoin miner on my computer, just because I thought it was cool, and I mined some Bitcoins. And I completely lost those too, so I completely feel your pain with the Litecoin. But I only really started about a year ago when a friend kind of got me into it, and was like, wow, yeah, man, I like bought Ethereum at $10 and now it's worth $200. And I was like, holy crap, like, what did you do? Like, I want in on this stuff. And I come from an engineering background, so I'm pretty good with numbers, and quickly technical analysis and all that stuff kind of caught on to me, figuring out how you could make accurate predictions off of the previous price history that pretty much sold me on the space, paired with, you know, crazy amounts of money coming in. So yeah, that was pretty much my history. Not too much. I started sharing everything around the beginning of this year on Twitter, and I've seen a lot of support from people, and that's been awesome. It's been awesome to grow with everyone, the whole community, and see everything. See all the noobs come in and get wrecked and learn their lessons. It's a wonderful circle.
Yeah.
Right. What's your thoughts on the market right now?
So I think that, well, I've posted this chart on my Twitter a couple of days ago over and over again, and it's essentially we're just in this massive ascending wedge, symmetrical ascending wedge, and you know, all the price movement that we're seeing right now, I'm of the opinion that, you know, that's what happens when you come to the end of a wedge. It's super choppy. You know, as the support and resistance lines come closer and closer together, you know, there's less area for it to move. So, you know, as we're seeing it jump from, you know, 8K to 10K and everywhere in between, you know, nothing huge, but, you know, as we come to the tip of this, we're going to see I'm certain of it, we're going to see a huge breakout in one of the two directions, but I think that we all believe that that direction is going to be up. So I think that will probably come around, you know, mid-April or beginning of April. Who knows? It depends on how you draw your pennant. But that's the end of the pennant, so it could happen anywhere between as well. But you know, I like Bitcoin. I don't really have a lot of belief in the long-term future of our current banking system. And I think that, you know, people are gonna, all it takes is for one more 2008 to happen, you know, and then it's sold. You know, everyone comes over to this space. Everyone gets sick of bankers being corrupt and shit. So it will happen sooner or later.
No doubt. It's definitely gonna happen. I mean,
do you think we're in an environment, like regulation-wise, where that's gonna happen this early? You think?
Well,
eventually it's going to happen, but like that's pretty short term. Like in the next, like, what, 6 months?
I don't think that, you know, the banks are going to fail in the next month or anything. That's more of a long term. You know, that's what makes Bitcoin worth $1 million.
Yeah, totally, I agree.
But you know, what makes Bitcoin worth 35K is, you know, probably something that will start in the next month or so.
Yeah, I'm curious what that would be.
I mean, all it takes really is for one big bank to, you know, go bankrupt. Government has to bail them out again. Everyone gets pissed off because it's their tax money. You know, inflation, all the hidden costs. People get sick of it. Like,
but do you think if people are scared, do you think, like, even people in Bitcoin, if like I had a bunch of Bitcoin and I'm up, let's say already like 20x, like 40x on my profits, don't you think I'd start selling if everything else is starting, if I was starting to feel nervous everywhere else?
Well, it depends. You know, it depends on what you believe is going to happen. So as we've all seen, especially recently, when the stock market crashed, you know, the Dow plummeted down to 20K. You know, people weren't seeking Bitcoin. Bitcoin went down as well. People wanted less volatile assets. And I actually wasn't tracking it. I feel like Baby Will might know more about that. But I suspect that, you know, precious metals probably had a little uptick there. Or if they didn't, they certainly did in 2008. And they would again anytime people start trusting the government less and less, which, you know, is happening. We see it every day. People don't trust the government.
Yeah, I've been kind of leaning more and more towards the precious metals, just kind of like short term against the Bitcoin. Not really sure. Yeah, just kind of feeling uneasy about the whole market right now, especially starting this trade war too.
Yeah, trade war is going to be very interesting. I'm also just the thought of like holding a fat gold bullion bar is just,
yeah,
it's pretty fucking badass, you know.
But at the same time, though, I think there are going to be a few projects, like even if the whole market shits over the next few months, that are going to really succeed within all of the shit, I think.
I've heard that's Bitcoin private, actually.
Really? You think so?
No, man.
Yeah.
I think, well, one of the projects that I've looked into a lot that seems really cool is a gold-backed crypto project called Dig. And it's not just gold-backed. I think they're putting out a bunch of different cryptocurrencies, all backed by various precious metals. So there's Dig. There's another separate one called Jabril Network. And they're just putting out coins that, you know, you can make your own token and essentially have it backed by real world assets. So anyone can tokenize whatever physical assets or securities that they want. And I actually, apart from the whole gold thing, I definitely think that that's going to be where the world goes. I see in 10 years that, stock markets will be very different and that, there'll still be stock markets, but it will all be tokenized or at least somehow on the blockchain. Just because of the security, how much easier it is. Because, when I sell a stock, I have to wait like a couple days for everything to be fully confirmed.
Yeah.
Whereas on the blockchain, it's however long the block time is. So.
Yeah, I mean, on that point, I'm not sure about like the longevity of Bitcoin itself, but the technology's here to stay. Like the blockchain technology can revolutionize pretty much every single industry that's out there, and that's what excites me about some of these projects, especially like supply chain projects. Like I'm really, really get excited about those because right now in the space, there's like this gap between like real life and crypto life. There's like the real world and then there's the crypto world. And projects that are bridging that gap, kind of in my vision, like supply chain projects, are really the ones that excite me the most because they're bridging the gap between how can this blockchain technology actually affect and make a difference in real life.
Yeah, that's what everyone should be looking for. People are always very eager to try and, I just today had someone ask me, what's the next moon coin? And obviously everyone wants to know that, but you have to think about it. What is going to be the future? What are people going to be using? How is the space going to evolve? And if you can predict, how the space will evolve, which is easier than just blindly trying to choose the next moon coin. All you have to do is think about it for a little bit, think what will be easiest, how people will react to certain stuff. And, it boils down to only a couple projects that you can, be pretty confident. Like one of these is, the future. And so those are the ones that you put your money in. And soon enough, what do you know? That's the next moon coin.
Have you been concentrating your bags recently?
Yeah, I'm holding less than 10 tokens right now.
Yeah, same.
So.
Yeah, I'm holding around 10 actually. Yeah. Cool.
So Hank, why don't you introduce yourself real quick since we haven't gotten there yet, and tell us what you're feeling about the market right now.
Yeah, I'm Mini Baby Whale. Some people know me as Hank. I got into the market when I quit my job in corporate. I just had enough. I moved into my grandma's basement. It was kind of just, I don't know, messing around, looking on the internet, and I just came across Bitcoin, I think. And I downloaded Coinbase, and I saw how easy it was just to buy this Bitcoin and put it on my phone. So the more I looked into it, I started looking at Ethereum and saw it was really low. And I kind of followed that for the next few months. And I also bought miners while I was in my grandma's basement, so I was mining a bunch down there as well. That didn't really go that well. But I ended up buying a bunch of Ethereum on the way up, right around $20. And I maxed out all my credit cards. I went totally into debt. And it actually ended up working out really well, but that's kind of how I got into crypto. I was just seeing these gigantic 100% gains all over the places on these crazy markets and just going, how the hell do I get into this? This is nuts. Like, I want a piece. And ever since that, I just got into a bunch of different coins like WeTrust, Triggers, a couple ICOs, and that's kind of just propelled me to the point where I'm at now.
Yeah, I think that's probably a similar story to a lot of people have.
Yeah, actually, my story is almost the same outside of the grandma basement, but yeah, that's also cool, I guess.
Yeah, not the grandma's basement part. But.
Yeah, actually worked out pretty well. I was like, no expenses. I actually had to cash out my entire 401k to do that, but my end goal was to just buy a business, and that ended up actually working out. So I mean, if you can move into your grandma's basement and save some money, I'd say go for it if the time is right.
Free electricity, man.
You got a cool and you got a cool grandma. Yeah, I mean, it was a great basement. So.
So what about you, bro? What's your startup story here?
What?
What's your startup story and how you feeling about the market?
All right. Yeah, my story is actually like almost the same as yours. I was working like in a digital agency that sucked a whole life out of me for like 2 years or something. And when I left the job, I didn't have anything to do. I was looking for some stuff, and I got a friend that bragged about becoming a millionaire because he bought a bunch of Ethereum at the start. So I guess like, yeah, why not? I can give it a try. And I entered around April and May, which was last year, which was like the biggest pumps ever. So it kind of set me up for the next few years. It was pretty neat. Then I got fucked over by the market pretty badly during the next few months, since, well, yeah, I didn't get the grip on the space yet. And since that moment, I'm like only crypto full time, like can't get more into this space than the time I spent here, I guess. And yeah, I mean, it's been a wild and fun ride. I must admit that. And as of the market state right now, I don't know. I still feel like this is a bull trap, but this is also a perfect place to start accumulating if somebody didn't start it yet. I mean, like, I don't think anybody would have guessed those prices will be met again that quickly, especially on the good projects right now on EDEX, KuCoin, and stuff. So even if somebody is very bearish, I just can't see this lasting longer than maybe a month before we really get some good pumps going again. I mean, there is too many bullish fundamentals going out in individual projects and for the whole market right now to justify literally having a year of bear market like people are.
What do you think about all these coins that have like test nets coming out in like 6 to 9 months, or don't have main nets coming out for like a super long time?
I mean, nah, I mean, you're basically talking about Matrix and this kind of stuff.
Yeah, like exactly, yeah.
I mean, nah.
It's crazy how much people talk about it, and it's like, what the fuck? It's not coming out for so long. I don't understand. There's no value to it right now.
I mean, it's worse on the speculation, like every other coin here. I mean, that's Matrix right now is pure hype. They have nothing yet, and yet it's called like top 5 fundamentally sound projects right now in crypto. And when the hype days out and well, the exchanges are on and stuff, I can't see it actually doing anything, at least for like 3-4 months until they go to in June. I think in June they have like a testnet or something. And until that moment, there's like no reasons to build up the hype. And yeah, that goes for every other long-term project here right now. Yeah, I mean, like the cycles are so quick right now that I don't think there's literally one reason for somebody to hold a coin for a whole year. I mean, you can easily like triple or quadruple your bag if you sell it and buy it once the market recovers again. I mean, if you don't need the money, I guess you can like put it in the cold storage and wait 2 years and like buy a Lambo with it. But it's not a good investing strategy right now.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I mean, I like Matrix a lot. I like the concept of it. I was in the ICO. I dig what they're trying to do. And at the same time, it's just a I think like a lot of the AI technology, blockchain buzzwords, they're all kind of just concepts, and they're not really, there's nothing fundamental there yet. But when there is something fundamental, they'll blow up, and it'll be really, really, really popular as well as really successful. So it's just kind of like a waiting game to see if they can do it. And when they start to show signs of being able to do it, I'll definitely enter big.
Yeah, I mean, like, the guy behind the Matrix and stuff, like, he knows his stuff. I mean, if this has a chance to work, it's too long right now to really to take it for granted. I mean,
definitely.
Yeah, when that comes out, that'll sweep through the space and just take over. I mean, that sounds crazy. AI and smart contracts.
It would be crazy. Yeah, it's the whole idea is crazy, and I'm still skeptical on whether or not it even works, just because it seems to far-fetched. But I mean, goddamn, if they get that shit working, that will be.
Yeah.
It would be like
that would be crazy.
Are any of you up on Storecoin? That's kind of one of those other coins that's like not going to be coming to fruition for like another year or two.
I don't know shit about Storycoin.
It was pretty.
I've seen you shill it on Twitter, I think, but I never actually checked it. Can
Okay.
you give a quick description of it?
It's just like it's a coin that's going to have 0 transaction fees. So it's like an inflationary model that's going to reward the miners. It's supposed to be revolutionary, and they're going through like a year of testing to make sure. What?
It's supposed to be revolutionary, aren't they all?
Yeah, 0 fees. It's kind of nuts. No one's figured out the mathematics yet, I think, on how to make it the blockchain feasible, scalable with having 0 fees and rewarding the miners like correctly and profitably with an inflationary model. So it's kind of weird. And I mean, I don't know enough about it. There's a bunch of other stuff they have a bunch of governance built into it as well. It's supposed to be good for regulation. But yeah, another one of those coins. That's really far out.
That would be interesting to see.
Totally, I hear you.
So here's something I'm interested in doing. I know it wasn't something that we originally planned, but I think it's actually a solid speaking point. Is what was like the biggest scam or pump and dump or whatever that you guys have fallen for?
Fallen for?
Or participated in somehow.
Dude, I've got the best story on this one.
Okay.
All right, so it was like pretty much like I got back into crypto last year, and it was like my first month of getting back into crypto. And I had I didn't have any trading strategy. I didn't have anything. I was like completely I was almost broke. I had like bunch of shit happen, but pretty much I decided to start going all in on coins. Like I was just trying to make money really quick. It was like the ultimate noob move possible. And a couple buddies of mine had signed up for Tika, the Palm Beach Confidential. And so I started to go all in on his calls.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
I went all in on one of his calls when he called Popcoin and got dumped on and lost 70% of my portfolio in a matter of
Popcoin?
Jesus Christ.
70% in a matter of minutes. And then the next week I was just so like defeated emotionally and mentally that I was just like, you know what, fuck this. I'm going all in on an ICO. I need to make my money back. Like literally the ultimate noob thing to do. But
yeah, what can go wrong in this one?
Yeah.
Well, it's like the feeling of like, you know what, fuck it. I like either I make my money or I die.
Yeah.
Like, I felt so defeated. So I threw all my money into this ICO, and literally the next week that the same ICO I just put the rest of my money in, exit scammed, just ran away. Website.
Was that the penis scam one?
That was a different one. This was
penis scam.
Fuck.
And so that was like my re-entry back into the crypto market, and it just completely kicked my ass, just whooped my ass. And I was like down for a few weeks, and then I was like, you know what, let's try this again. And I put everything I owned at the time back into it, and actually built a trading strategy, and instead of listening to other people, and just went for it. And it's been successful ever since then. But I needed that shit. I needed to get my ass whooped real quick.
Yeah, it's funny how that works.
Yeah, I don't think I've been in any scam actually. I mean, I got caught in like I don't know if you remember that coin. It was Recoin, REE. It was like a dead coin that got picked up by random developers from one Satoshi, of course. But in the past, it was like a few thousand or something. So yeah, I took the gamble. And the dude like pumped it. I don't know how much was it, like times 10 or something one day. He like created a website and everything. And after like 2 weeks or something, he posted that he's planning to sell the project right now because he doesn't have time for it. And like, yeah, people got trapped.
Jesus,
yeah, that shit is still like trading on Litecoin, I guess. And actually, like in December, it pumped again because like community wanted to get into it once more. But I guess people are getting a little bit more smart right now with the projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
So I have a fun one.
All right, what is it?
When I first got in, I promptly joined Telegram, which, as many of you may know, is probably one of the worst moves a beginning trader can make. Because it is absolutely chock full of scammers and pump and dump groups, et cetera, et cetera. And one of the first groups I found was Captain ASDF's pump group. I don't know if any of you guys are aware or remember his pumps, but he had like the largest pump group at the time. He had like 20,000 people on Telegram who were all pretty much active. You know, it only lasted for about 3 or 4 weeks. But I mean, it was crazy when I first got in there. Like it was when Bittrex was the main good exchange, and we would be pumping coins. Like I think we got one up to 1,600% a minute. It was absolutely bonkers. Like we would be the #1 volume and price change on the front page of Bittrex. It was just absolutely nuts, right? And so I saw that, I was like, oh my god, like I can literally retire in a year. Right? And then so I don't know, Bitcoin was like $2,000 at this time. And so I put like half a Bitcoin into one of the pumps and immediately lost almost all of it.
Oh.
I was determined. I didn't let that stop me, right? And so I go to a tech school. And so I had a programmer program me a bot that would use the Telegram and Bittrex API it would read the coin that he put out on Telegram and immediately execute a buy order on Bittrex. So essentially, I got in at the very beginning of the pump, because there's 2 ways to make money on the pump: either be like one of the first people to buy it or know what coin is going to pump beforehand. And so I had this whole thing where it would use the APIs, it would read the coin name off so it could like execute a buy before anyone else. And then it had like, as soon as it executed a buy, it would execute a sell order at some preset multiplier. And that actually worked. It was insane. It only worked for about 2 weeks, but I made like 4 or 5 Bitcoin doing that. And then I sold it to a bunch of other people, made a bunch more Bitcoin. But yeah, so that was my first experience in the scams of the scams of crypto.
No, I remember that. No, I did a couple pump dump groups. I think I lost in the first one, and after that I just said, fuck it, I'm dumping on these guys. And I just started dumping at the start of it, and it started killing all of our pumps, and just stopped doing that.
Well, that's why well, it was funny, the evolution of the pump. So it started as a pump and dump, but then as soon as everybody got caught on, or that you could not make money in a pump and dump, they changed the names of all the groups to pump and hold groups.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, yeah, we'll pump it, but don't sell it right away. So, that worked for about the same amount of time that the pump and dumps worked. I remember it was like a period of like 2 months. It went from pump and dump to pump and hold. Pump and hold, it just went to trading signals. And now that's pretty much where it still is. It's just like these trading signal groups. And they'll try and shill whatever coin.
That's pretty spot on now.
I used to like pick the coin, just buy like random coins on Bittrex when I first started, and try and like pick the coins that were gonna pump. And I never got them.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was doing too. I didn't really start researching the tech until like literally my wife asked me one day. She was like, what's Ethereum? And I started playing. Oh, it's smart contracts. And she's like, oh, it's a smart contract. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh fuck. Yeah. So I went back and I was like, oh my god, I really got to understand the fuck a blockchain is, what miners are, and all that stuff. And ever since that, I started looking at these ICOs, and that's where like the big money is coming for me.
No doubt.
But I was doing the same thing. I was just kind of guessing and gambling based off of like sentiment on Twitter and all that shit.
I mean, sentiment on Twitter has a lot to do with it. I'm I'm not surprised, but I'm always like, holy shit, like, wow, that coin just pumped, and it's because fucking 8 people just posted about it on Twitter.
Yeah, I think it still does, but it's just not like back then. Like, holy shit! Like secrets of crypto, you would call a coin and it would pump like 200%, like a huge coin. Like tons of people would just send out these calls, and every single time within like minutes, it would pump like crazy. I just haven't seen that yet.
People are too smart nowadays. I don't think like pump and dumps like don't really work as well. I'm sure there's still pump and dump schemes out there, but they're definitely much more complex and intricate than.
I think that's starting to show too, like the market's starting to evolve a little bit, which is good. Like I think that's what needs to happen. What do you guys think about the regulation? That's a good topic that I want to touch on. Like a lot of the governments are starting to look at regulation for crypto, especially like the US and things like that. What do you guys think about that? Good, bad, why?
Man, so I think that regulation is healthy and a good thing for the space overall. And the reason I say that is because by nature, the cryptocurrencies can only be regulated so far. Just the way that the algorithms work, especially for the privacy coins, but even for some of the more open chain ones, like you can only regulate it so far. So there's still, the essence of the blockchain not having to rely on any, centralized power. This whole trustless thing. Most of the coins, looking at you, Ripple, and a couple of the others, apart from those, all of these things they're decentralized. So regulation can weed out scams, and it can make people trust the space more in its trustless sense, but it can never make the space fully go away. And now you might say, well, look at China. Like China banned cryptocurrencies and everything went to shit. Well, you're right. They can do that. If the country outright bans the use of cryptocurrencies and threatens, jail time or major fines for using cryptocurrencies, then sure, like they'll take a beating. But especially in a country like the United States, that's just impossible to happen. I don't see a way for a market like the United States to outright ban cryptocurrencies, and especially what we've seen from the Senate hearings. The congressional committees have been, if you've listened to those recordings, they've been extremely bullish on the whole thing. They're like, we care about the space, we just want to regulate it so scams like BitConnect and shit like that don't happen. But we believe, because they use cases like the Chipotle. Whatever happened to Chipotle, and there was some disease going around in their food. It's not Ebola. I always think Ebola. It's
E. coli.
E. coli, yeah, E. coli. There was like E. coli in their food, and it took weeks to track down the location. But with blockchain, that kind of thing, you could do it, in minutes. They kept putting out the examples like that, and it makes you realize this stuff really, it's not going away. Whether or not the space is tokenized as much as we see it today, or kind of more centralized in the sense that there are fewer coins. They're all still decentralized, but not everything is tokenized. It's here to stay. It's not going away.
I mean, the most risk is with ICOs anyway, because like you cannot ban trading because there's a lot more decentralized exchanges right now coming in. And I also don't believe that China or any other country is going to like seriously not use blockchain or ban cryptocurrencies. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense right now. But ICOs, I don't know about how it is in the US exactly, because I'm from Poland, so like we don't have problems here. But I think that only you guys are gonna get fucked with this one, because at least in Poland, government is not even talking about cryptocurrencies yet, and I think that it's gonna take a lot longer than people think before there are some real regulations going in.
Yeah,
everybody's like afraid for like a year already, and like nothing actually almost happened with regulations during that year. And there's a lot of fear, but not much action yet outside of like talking only.
You guys are lucky. I think it's kind of stupid how the United States is pushing out smaller investors. It's kind of like the same thing how I feel like Wall Street is right now. They don't really let the people with smaller portfolios and not a lot of capital kind of enter into these cool investments or these unique investments.
Well, so the thing is that we're America, right? We have this reputation for being whiny little bitches, and we are absolutely whiny little
100%.
Yeah. Somebody will invest in some scam ICO, they'll lose all their money, and then they'll try and get the U.S. government to fix their problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's why those laws exist, the whole accredited investor. Like, it's because idiots who do no research at all fall for some scam and then want the government to fix their problem. And so the government's just like, let's just fucking make it go away, and only people who have enough money and evidently know exactly what the fuck they're doing should be able to invest in this stuff.
It's just weird as citizens. Yeah, we're again just telling the government, saying, hey, we don't want the responsibility of making our own investments, so please tell us what we can and can't do. Like, it's just stupid. I can't believe that we're doing this. This is like our opportunity to change.
You know, as the 1% of people in the United States who are actually intelligent, you know, yes, it sucks for us. You know, the 1% of people in the United States who are actually intelligent and are not accredited investors, it sucks for us. But I mean, that's just the way things are.
Yeah, and I mean, it has a lot to do with just the reputation of ICOs. You know, I mean, like, I don't know if you guys saw Benabit or whatever it was. Yeah, it was Benabit. It was like just complete scam. Ran with a couple million. You know,
what was the name once again? Benabit.
Benabit, yeah, Benebit.
What do you think? What do you think's going to happen to a lot of these teams that did this? Because there's been a couple of them, and it's adding up now to like hundreds of millions. Do you think any governments or people are going to go after any of these hackers?
I'm sure they're going to go after them.
If they haven't gone after them, it's probably too late.
Or like the BitConnect people. I mean, how much do they have? Fuck.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different.
I think BitConnect's probably gone in the wind. Like,
I mean, you just go by 5 years, and those people are going to be like, how rich are those people going to be? Like, it's going to be insane.
Well, yeah. So the only way I could see them getting caught now is money laundering, because.
But at the same time, have you been reading about how there's could possibly be like a list that they're going to make for Bitcoin and a bunch of these blockchains that'll basically prevent certain wallets from being able to send and receive transactions to like the general.
God, I mean, I understand why they want that, but that wouldn't be a good thing for the space at all.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I've been seeing it coming up more.
I mean, I think the scams, like, or the quality projects outweigh the scams, and the scams will continue to fade and fade. I think the scams are getting less and less and less as we speak. I mean, I found that ICO a fucking couple weeks ago that or I posted the ICO on Twitter a couple weeks ago that had fucking Ryan Gosling as one of the teams.
Yeah, I remember
that. That was hilarious. Yes.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, those ICOs over the last 6 months or 4 months or whatever, were really taking advantage of people that had a lot of money during this bull run, this boom, that shouldn't have had it, and were dumping money into shit. They just idiots, basically. I had a lot of money throwing it at scams. Exactly. I mean, it's not going to be like that in this environment. So yeah, as we've seen, a lot of these shitty ICOs that even might have some good technology or a good team just aren't getting the funding they should or need.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that the regulation on that side, it's good. I mean, it definitely sucks for the U.S. investors that are like smart investors and do their research. But for the majority of everybody else, like it protects them. And either way, as long as we're still investing in crypto and still at the forefront in some way, shape, or form, then it's good. And I don't know. In my opinion, the rest of the regulation's awesome. Like I've heard a couple people. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Superman, but I watched a couple of his tweets, and he was saying how he thinks that regulation for crypto is going to be really, really bad, and it's going to hurt it and kill it. I don't see that happening. I think that if regulation gets put in place and established well, then it opens up the space to have really like big investors come in and feel more comfortable with investing billions of dollars into the space, which will put us at that $1 trillion market cap we're all looking for, or over $1 trillion market cap. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
I completely agree with you.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the people that got into Bitcoin at the beginning are kind of different than the people that got into Bitcoin now. And now it's kind of changed from people who got in at the beginning were hoping for like a gigantic paradigm shift in the way like governments run, in the way people have rights. And now it's kind of just, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So now it's just basically trying to come into our mainstream, and like it's different type of people now that are involved in crypto, I think. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. So we're coming on 45 minutes now. I know we wanted to keep this between 45 minutes and an hour. So let's just pick one more thing. And I think
we should talk some coins, actually. I think.
Yeah. We should fulfill the eponymous task of this podcast and shill some coins.
Without any shilling, and this is Netflix and Shill.
Netflix and Shill. Let's do it. So, Whale, you wanna start?
My one coin.
Your one coin. What's your
yeah, I'm not bullish on that many coins right now, honestly. I mean, the coins I would be most bullish on, yeah, as you guys have been saying, the supply chain coins, and that kind of goes into the platform coins as well. Like I'm bullish on Dragon Chain. I'm bullish on Origin Trail. I'm also bullish on this Raven coin just because of all the mystery and the low cap. I'm bullish on Satellite Cash just because it seems very culty. A lot of people are talking about it, and
I haven't heard of that.
Microcap. And also Divi coin, I'm also still bullish on, although it's been kind of negative recently, just because I think once people actually realize how awesome it is just to click a button and your masternode goes up, I think that'll be pretty cool. So those are kind of like my 5 coins right there. I'm bullish on.
Cool. I agree with you. How about ShipChain? Are you
ShipChain? I was going to research more into that actually, as I saw a bunch of people were being bullish about it, but their airdrop kind of just weirded me out, so I kind of just stayed away. And then you guys kind of fudded me recently with
what's the deal with the like guy having legal problems or something like this? I don't exactly remember what was going on, but there's a lot of food with a guy having like oh my god.
Yeah, fill us in on the FUD.
Yeah. His lawsuit ended, and he like had to give some money away, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know how legit that info is.
I don't know the legitimacy of the inquiry either. I know there was a bunch of FUD around the CEO. But ShipChain, for me, I mean, I'm bullish on it. I don't own it right now because I'm just in other coins. But I think it's probably one of the best use cases of the blockchain technology right now, and has a huge market to tackle, which can be pretty easily tackled.
I think that use case would be huge, but I mean, couldn't someone, like, I've thought about this for a lot of different use cases where these tiny teams are coming in to tackle a gigantic use case like this. Like, this is one of the biggest ones. Like, couldn't a bigger team with a bigger blockchain kind of just make a dApp off of it and already be a lot better prepared to tackle an issue like this?
I don't see why not. I think that just kind of depends upon whether the team wants to do that or not, and whether that's like their intent or their focus with the project.
So I guess how bullish are you on this, the team of ShipChain?
I like ShipChain's team a lot. You know, I think the only bad thing that I've heard is the FUD around the CEO, but even with that, like, I'm still bullish on it. I like what they're doing. They've got like really solid advisors and a really solid team behind it, and I like the central focus of it. I think a lot of the ICOs out there are like, oh, we're building a blockchain and we're building this and that, but there isn't like a real targeted industry that they're building it for. That's why I like Ship a lot, and I'm definitely going to be buying back in the future. But right now, I don't own any because I'm in other coins.
This kind of reminds me of Sophia, like kind of similar.
Yes,
like a big use case.
I'm more bullish actually on a Cargo X than ShipChain.
Oh, really?
Because I don't really feel like ShipChain tries to do everything, man, like literally everything. And Cargo X is like one of these projects, kind of like Car Vertical, that plans to only do one small thing with Cargo X. It's blockchain-based bill of lading. And from that moment, if they succeed, they got small amount of money on the ICO. They were not greedy. If they manage to get that one thing, then they will move to other ones. I mean, they got like a very possible goal, possible target that they can reach. I don't know if like ShipChain at this moment, when they don't have any product yet and stuff, it's like it's a.
I think that it's just two different ways of tackling the problem. So ShipChain is essentially like we're a very broad solution, and if you want to implement us, reach out, and then we can figure out something specific. Whereas Cargo X is we're specifically tackling this thing that we already know we have a market for, and then once we figure that out, we'll be able to expand elsewhere to other places that are interested.
Totally.
Is that?
I mean, yeah, but still, like from the perspective of like short to mid-term, which can like show success, I would bet more on Cargo X, especially that it's lower cap right now also.
Interesting.
I don't disagree with you. I think ShipChain's like really, really long term. The reason I exited my position was specifically what you said, Orangutan, was the fact that it doesn't have a working product, and that to me is just like, okay, well, there's not going to be much news or much information or anything that's really coming around until a working product is out there.
Yeah. All right, so I'll jump in then. So I'll list 3 coins. The first one is Binance Bucks, BNB. I think that Binance as an exchange is going to grow just enormously, especially if we get another bull market. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Also, there was just news that they're moving their headquarters or some equivalent of their headquarters to Malta, which will allow the crypto trading pairs more easily for them. And they have, well, I guess the CEO of Binance, he had their RSPM or whatever, where each one of those was some big update to the exchange. He didn't say exactly what they were, but I believe that M at this point is moving to Malta. And so, yeah, so I'm super bullish on Binance Bucks for that reason, especially as it's the #1 exchange and they're only doing good things to grow. There was a bunch of FUD over the hack, but that was not entirely not their fault.
Yeah, but they are dealing with all the problems like champs. I mean, literally, I've never seen any other exchange.
They're being super transparent. So I believe in the exchange itself, and so I believe that the exchange's coin is just going to do better and better and better. So I actually just bought a bunch, literally right in the middle of this of this talk. My order's filled. And okay, so then there's OST, and OST I'm bullish on both technically and fundamentally. OST offers a easy solution for any business to implement blockchain. So they offer this toolkit so the company doesn't have to hire fancy developers to make their own blockchain. They make it really simple for any company who wants to implement blockchain to do so with their toolkit. Also, it's currently sitting at absolute rock bottom. I bought some at 19,000 or 1,900 sats and like 2 days ago, and right now it's at 23. There's a small resistance at 24, 25, but I think that it's going to break out, and we'll see. I'll see.
Yeah, I agree, and I did exactly the same, so I'm happy you're shielding this one.
Okay, OST, nice. Okay, and then my third one is going to be Storm. Or I'm sorry, not Storm. That was just what's up. Monaco. Monaco is one of those cryptocurrency credit cards.
Is it the one that faked the Visa partnership at the beginning?
Right. So they didn't actually fake it as a thing. Someone made some fake Photoshop picture that got around before they had a chance to say that it was fake. So that was actually no fault of their own. I did all my research on that just to make sure. They are currently the only cryptocurrency credit card that has a partnership with Visa. They are a Visa program manager, the only ones. The reason why Metal and 10X have all been having setbacks is because they tried to use Wirecard and then they got fucked by regulations. So Monaco is already a year ahead of all of these. They also announced a Monaco credit and invest feature. So they're planning to add essentially credit cards, not just debit cards, to their platform. They have a massive strategic partnership that they keep talking about that they'll announce as soon as the platform goes live, and they're already in beta tests right now. And as soon as those beta tests go out and the platform goes live, everyone who reserved a card will start locking up their tokens. And by them locking up their tokens, we are going to see the price of Monaco go to the fucking moon. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous because to lock up these cards, you have to lock up, depending on what card you reserved, 50, 500, or even 10,000 of the coin. And the total supply of Monaco is really small. They're actually, for the number of cards even reserved right now, there actually aren't enough coins on the market to actually do that. And so they've actually announced that they're going to be slowly lowering the number of tokens you have to lock up to make sure that everyone can do it. But just that fact alone, when people start locking up the tokens, the price is going to shoot.
So they're making people lock up 30 G's to get a card.
Depends on which card you want. If you want like the black obsidian one, you have to lock up 10,000.
60 G. Oh, I see now. 50 G's. Oh, 500 for precious metal.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one that's free. Okay, I got it.
You can get one. You can get one for 50, which is like $500 right now. You can get one for 500, which is $5,000, and then you can get another one for like 500 grand or whatever the fuck 10,000 is. But yeah, super bullish on Monaco. It's been slow right now because their product isn't out yet, but they have a working product because the beta is out and working. So
why the hell would you want this Obsidian Black card? So they're saying there's 1,000, but you only get what, 2% cash back. You get lounge key, airport access, basic features. I don't understand. Why would you lock up 300 G's for this card?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really get that because the precious metals essentially are the same, just slightly smaller cash back.
Yeah, way better. It's like 10 times less.
Yeah.
Or like 100 times less, whatever it is.
But they have announced that they're going to be adding more and more features to the cards. So I suspect that
they'll add some sick thing for only the black.
Yeah, and I think it's mainly geared at people who invested in the ICO. I don't think anyone's probably going to be locking up those anytime right now. But yeah, so those are mine. Anybody else have some?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go first. I'll finish this.
Cool. Yeah, I'll drop my top three. Origin Trail track. That's my number one right now.
Oh yeah.
I think we all agree on this one, actually.
Yeah, I absolutely love this coin. I mean, it's got a working product. It won the Walmart award, and really, it has endless potential.
Oh yeah, on that subject, I have a good friend of mine. I can't really say who, but he says he's been talking with some people from Congress or something like that, and also some people from Kroger. And people from Kroger are saying people from Walmart, high up people, they've been talking about putting themselves on blockchain. So either these Walmart and Kroger are thinking about making their own blockchain. They could be looking at something like this because remember Walmart did that award or whatever a while back. So I'm just saying these huge companies right now are looking at supply chain blockchain. So I don't know. Origin Trail something could be going on.
Something could definitely be going on. I think that I think honestly I love the potential of it, and it has the potential to do a lot of different things. I mean, it already has a working product, like I said. It already has businesses that are using its product. I don't know if you guys saw this, but they have a video where they're tracking like a yogurt.
Yeah, I've seen this one.
Yeah, they tracked yogurt all the way back to the farm where it was like where the first ingredients came from to make the yogurt. something like that is really how I see the blockchain world blending and bridging with the real world. So I think that's kind of like the first step to doing this more, and that's why I'm really really bullish on Origin Trail. Number two is TRX. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say.
No. Number two, I like Tomo Chain or Tomo Coin. Tomo has been on my radar a lot. I've been learning more and more about it. I've got a big bag of it. I'm super excited about the potential there. They're kind of building their own blockchain. They've got a couple ICOs already scheduled for their blockchain, and it's just super cheap right now, only on IDEX and I think like Gate.io or something.
Yeah, and they have a really strong development team, actually, like one of the better ones I've seen.
Exactly. And I'll just throw Dragon in there, man. I love Dragon Chain. I think it's got huge potential. I think it'll be a $10 to $15 coin by the end of the year, if not more. And I think if like honestly, there's a couple things I don't like about it. I own a big bag of it. I don't like the ICOs they're putting out. I think they can get some higher quality ICOs and some better things in that area. But I think the potential of it's huge. It has hype. There's a lot of people on Twitter that are shilling it. So I don't see it not going really high.
Yeah, I agree. I've heard that the focus, like a lot of Joe's focus too, which he's kind of like the secret sauce, has been in towards finding devs right now. And I've heard it's been difficult to find good blockchain devs. So I think that's kind of been distracting them.
Makes sense. And yeah, those are my top three shills.
Awesome. All right. For mine, I guess I'm going to go first with Stelit. I don't know how to even pronounce it. Shout out to Jew Crypto for this one. I wrote you about this one, guys. Like, this is the mobile mining, like Electroneum, I think that's how you spell it. But it's actually a working product already. They've tested it. They got the 17-year-old dev with a small team around him. But I must say I spent some time in the Discord and like I've checked the current development, the roadmap. It's like a very small project right now, only on some shitty exchanges, currently at 5 Satoshis with 1 billion supply. It has kind of like a, I wouldn't say Verge vibe to it when it first started, but technologically it's a lot better than Electroneum, which is currently almost 200 million market cap. Like there is absolutely no reason for it not to go past it. And since people are reluctant to go into smaller exchanges, I guess these prices are still a very good jump. So that's the first shill. Second one, I would probably say Restart Energy. I might be a little bit biased because I like those energy coins, and this one is currently the best one of them all. Better than WePower, better than Power Ledger. It's not completely bottomed out, I guess. It's like it would be a risky entry right now, but the whole squad, like the token utility, like everything here is just, I would say, perfect. I can see how this will not be one of the biggest gainers this whole season. And the third one, I don't know. I feel like at this prices, Legolas Exchange is actually a very good pickup because it's the ICO price was around 50 cents. Right now, it's, I don't know if it's even 20 cents, to be honest. And the project will be top notch, will be one of the better exchanges. Yeah, it's 24 cents. Yeah. One of the better exchanges, along with Gibraltar Exchange when they get rolling. This is like, it's supposed to go on the third quarter, I guess. So it's a very long hold, but I doubt that we're gonna see this kind of prices like even during this accumulation phase in between their launch. And yeah, this is like this along with Gibraltar exchanges are like the ways for the institutional money to get into crypto on a like safe way. So I can see how this is not a good pickup at these prices. Not a very good short-term play, but yeah, this is one of those coins that you're gonna regret in a few months, I guess.
I agree. I
agree.
I dig it. Yeah,
awesome.
M1's also one of my favorites too. I love that coin.
Well, sweet. I think that was a great first podcast. I'm not exactly sure what our schedule is going to be for more in the future, maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. But I'm sure that we will be doing this again because I personally had a great time.
I got one question before we finish. Are you guys going to donate for Verge development support?
Yeah. Holy fuck. Yeah.
I mean, because I just watched like their promo video about the donation, and if you donate amount big enough, you can get a Skype conference with the main developer of Verge.
Really? Wow, that's incredible. What a valuable
or a mug.
That's a new low. This is a new low.
They must be desperate.
And if they do not manage to get the potential partnership, they will still keep the money, by the way.
All they need is McAfee to show them again, and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I think that wraps things up well. So
it was awesome. We'll schedule another one. We'll post it on our Twitters, and it was the first Netflix and Shill.
Awesome. Talk to you guys later.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
All right. See ya.